I just finished grilling my wife a steak, so I'm very happy and proud to be here.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. This is John Shugart, and I am happy, guys. We got a hot one tonight. If you weren't on the 2:00 Eastern, this is an encore presentation, and you're going to be blown away. I'm excited. I've been excited actually for several weeks now since we've been planning to bring this content to you guys. When we were doing some research on different distribution models and looking at selling our software in different ways and things like that, I was introduced. Well, actually, I already knew Johnny, but I didn't know that he had been basically for the last 3 years building a publishing empire along with Hollis Carter. And I got talking with them and started listening to what they were doing and how they were so different than what was being taught in the IM world. And they really weren't, they hadn't really come out or shared this information or anything like that. I said, please come share it with our folks. And they agreed. They agreed so graciously to 2 events, which is a miracle in and of itself. Most people will not agree to that. But they were, kind enough to take several hours, because the first one today, sit back. I want you to go ahead and get plenty of paper, plenty of notes, because you're going to learn a lot. But anyway, Johnny Andrews, he's on here. Hollis Carter's on. I think even Mark's on as well. So we got a full house tonight, just to help you guys learn about this. Even though it's not brand new, it's a pretty new, publishing platform. So anyway, Johnny, I'm going to turn it over to you because I know you got a ton to cover. So you take it away, buddy.
Well, thank you. Yes, we're here for the encore presentation this evening. Basically, everything you're going to be seeing tonight, as I was talking a little bit ago, it's completely and totally, like John said, it's a totally different way of looking at this Kindle platform that Amazon has been so gracious to sort of plop out there for us. And I'm going to be breaking down literally like the entire business model behind how we've been able to pull this off, and how I took in a very, very small number of just a couple of sort of test students and tried this stuff out, because in probably just a very short few minutes, you're going to see why John's saying what he is, that this thing is completely different than anything you're probably going to see ever, really, in terms of like the whole Kindle thing. And it's really the secret behind how we were able to pull off the over 18,000 sales in 24 hours. I always like to throw in that kind of like, little internet marketing hook, like, without a website. It's awesome. And then hopefully you've been reading all of our extremely clever and, I like to think, witty disclaimers. That's good stuff indeed. So here we go. So I'm on with the good man Hollis Carter, my ninja business partner there. And he'll be popping in every now and then to sort of bring up some points and touch on some cool stuff. But that's a picture of me right there in the bathrobe on one of those fun little marketer cruises thing. And you'll get to see my book in a little bit. But yes, best-selling author. It's great times. And what we're going to give you tonight is a 100% fully usable, totally legal, and bare-bones simple Kindle publishing blueprint. And you're going to be able to walk away tonight, regardless of what you do, provided you take some notes, please do, because you're going to be able to implement this stuff in your business. And I want to take just 2 seconds here and tell you really who this is for. The way John had kind of come to this was because he was looking for, he's all about traffic, as I think any online business owner, or really any business owner in general, needs to be. And methods of traffic, you're more than likely familiar with tons of them, but Kindle can be, if done correctly, a phenomenal traffic source. Absolutely phenomenal for business owners. It's also great for publishers. It's also great for authors. It's phenomenal for all sorts of people, but that's how John found it. And so I'm going to kind of be going back and forth between those 3 different kinds of business models tonight, so you can have a point of reference for each one of them. And then I'm going to show you how one of our authors was able to go from 0 to over $650 in a day in just 2 weeks, and he did it without really producing any of his own stuff. In fact, I talked to him just a couple of, probably about 2 weeks ago, I think, and he'd almost broken the $1,000 a day and was holding it consistently. which was awesome. And then obviously we're going to break down over 18,000 sales in 24 hours case study. So you can get behind the scenes on that one. It's really powerful stuff. And I want to be straight up here. As you can probably tell by the way I'm talking, I'm not what you would call like a polished business opportunity internet marketer kind of guy. I mean, I do come from the internet marketing background, but like I've never been able to pull off, hello, my name's Guy Smiley, and if you give me $50 million, I'll make you rich tonight. That ain't what you guys are getting tonight. You are actually getting a straight up long-term legitimate business model. This is not like some kind of scheme or anything like that, as you'll see very quickly. And also, I want to be totally upfront about where these case studies came from. These guys are handpicked from, and I was mentioning that earlier, a closed-door pilot program that was not made available to the general public. Just, dropped a little stuff in a forum, got some folks to take action. They are exceptional at this. They are definitely exceptional action takers, and there really are no actual typical results with this because as you'll see, it completely depends on what your goals are. What is your business model, and what do you want to achieve? And so everybody wanted a different thing. And you're going to see how that played out and how, as you implement what I'm showing you, you kind of, whatever your ticket is, you can kind of write it. So it's pretty cool. So I just wanted to be very straight about that. All the correspondence that you'll see between myself and the students came from either direct messages in a forum or emails and that kind of thing. So I'll be sharing that stuff with you. So who am I? I am, yes, that person in that picture there. In the past probably 5 years, I've been fortunate enough to grow a fairly serious online business. I've sold millions of dollars of stuff, typically downloadable products. I've been, either been a part of or the guy doing some of the biggest ClickBank launches in history. Created products that have sold tens of thousands of copies and really helped a lot of people. When I was doing that, it was a pretty cool feeling, being at a seminar or something like that and having people come up to me and say, hey, wow, that was awesome, man. You really, really, really helped. And, I used your stuff and grew a huge business. I was like, sweet. That made me super happy. The problem was I didn't like how those things were being presented. I'm not a huge fan of this, big, hey, buy my stuff or your eyes will fall out kind of thing. It just really felt kind of crappy. And, it wasn't that the products were bad, it was that the presentation. I always said that people who sold like that were kind of being a caricature of themselves. And, it's really true. And so as soon as I got married and had a kid, and yes, that's my wife and child right there, who are upstairs chowing on some food right now, and they say hi, by the way. As soon as I had this kid, I wanted to look at this thing like, how am I going to present this? Like if she wants me to come in at career day or something. It's like, oh yeah, he has these crazy websites that look like they're scams, but they're not. And so I just wanted to be done with it, and especially with the kid, had to be proud of this thing. By the way, I get lots of keyboard clacking in the background. I'm going to blame Hollis. So I took a radical, yes, I can hear you. A radical shift in business because my dream basically had always been to be a writer. And so I got into business to fund this art thing that I was doing, and I ended up, and that's really kind of what we all do in this information marketing game is we self-publish. And I wound up self-publishing my way to, millions of dollars, which was super cool. And then it was right about the 2007 mark, when Amazon launched this Kindle thing. I kind of looked at this, and a lot of people I think probably had the same mindset. It's like, what the heck are you doing? Just right when all these amazing new color touchscreen phones were starting to come out, and everything was getting really intense in the handheld computing world. And all of a sudden, Amazon pops onto the market with this throwback technology, like this grayscale screen. And I kind of thought, like, what? Typically they're not that insane. But I'm like, okay, Amazon's doing something here, and I need to pay attention to it. So I decided to get into it. Ended up buying like every program, which was like at the time nothing. Now it's you find all sorts of lunacy. But I wound up buying like every program I could possibly get my hands on and wound up using them. And so let me explain to you why I decided to make this massive shift to Amazon. So I decided, like, after all that ClickBank stuff and everything that was going beautifully, that I would literally leave this market. And I think after I explain this to you, you're going to understand why. First of all, Amazon is the largest bookseller on earth. It's got over 300 million active customers, most of them set up to literally one click and buy, which means they are the most trusted merchant on the planet, like people who process money in terms of like, you want to buy something, they're going to process it. It's phenomenal. They sell over $34.2 billion of stuff each year. And as you can see, it's going to be expected to hit about $100 billion by 2015, and they're the largest seller of ebooks in the world. Now, obviously, that happened after the Kindle thing came out, and the reason why it happened is because they were ridiculously smart. I was right. There was something going on in the background that the rest of the world was not aware of, and that is, it wasn't just about that little weird-looking handheld device. It was about these apps. These Kindle reading apps that literally go on every smartphone, tablet, computer, tab, whatever thing you have. I'm honestly shocked they're not on refrigerators, because I think Samsung actually put out a refrigerator that could download apps. It was crazy. But now, basically, you're on every